chapter on channelers.
My stay in the taiga passes from one day to the next, and I still can't find any occupation for myself. Anastasia runs off somewhere, busy with her affairs. My son, although he's still so little, is getting along beautifully with the help of his wild nannies. It's a strange business, as if humanity has devised so much just to keep busy. Here you walk through the forest and just think. So here I am, walking through the forest and thinking. I come to the lake again and sit down at my favorite spot, under a cedar. I look at the sack of readers' letters and think, I mustn't forget to have Anastasia answer all their questions. As soon as she walked up, I immediately said, "Do you see the letters from readers?" I sorted them all by question. About child rearing, various proposals, about religions, about Russia's destiny, about wars, poems and good wishes, and letters from channelers, you see?
Yes, I see.
I first asked Anastasia about channelers. There are people who say, just look at what they write in their letters. They claim contact with extraterrestrial civilizations and with certain individuals from the past. They hear different voices. Some people write down what they hear and assert that these are messages conveyed to them by the universe's supreme intellect. Our presses published books in large print runs about channeling. For instance, there's a woman writer, Blavatsky, author of several fat books, and the Ruriks, widely known, who also wrote books and painted pictures. They are read in many countries, and their paintings are exhibited. Other people are fearful and frightened when they hear a voice. Look, here's a letter from a girl in Clincy. A voice is telling her she should listen to it because it's a wise teacher. But the girl is afraid and is asking you for help. Are these readers really in contact with someone? How does this happen?
What do you think an extraterrestrial civilization is, Vladimir?
The population of some other planet, star, or something invisible living nearby. If they're in contact with individuals who lived before, that means these individuals are living in some invisible world.
Vladimir, each person is made in such a way that he has access to the entire universe, both the visible and the invisible one. Each person can interact with anyone or anything he wants. The interaction occurs more or less as it would through your radio. Lots of stations broadcast all kinds of information, but the radio's owner chooses what of all that he wants to listen to. A person is simultaneously both the radio and its owner. Which station, which source finds its own in him, depends on his consciousness, feelings, and purity. As a rule, that information comes to the specific person who can apprehend, understand, and use it. Everything has to come about calmly, without any importunate stress on personal greatness. When people tell someone about their own greatness, they are trying to act on his egoism. I am so great that I've chosen you alone out of everyone else, and you will be my pupil, and you too will rise above everyone. As a rule, inferior, soulless creations say things like that. They cannot be in the flesh, so they strive to crowd out the human soul and take over someone else's flesh. They act on the person's intellect, egoism, and fear of the unknown.
But how do you get rid of them? Many readers want to know.
Simple. They themselves are cowardly and primitive. They need to be warned. Go away, and if you don't, I will scorch you with my thought. They know full well that man's thought is many times more powerful than they. You can also chew a leaf of celandine. First place the leaf on your palm and mentally say to it, "Rid me of all impurities, leaf."
But what if many people themselves want to speak to the same source? What should they do? Look, in their letters they write that they're talking to you. Is that true? If so, how do you have time to answer them all? There are lots of them, and they all say they speak directly to you and you answer them.
Each reproduces his own thoughts, and each person's thoughts live. They do not vanish into nowhere. What you and I have thought is also in space. My dream is in space with my thoughts. Each person can hear them if he wants. Many can listen simultaneously. The only question is what distortions the radio is capable of letting through.
What do you mean by distortions? What do they depend on?
On the purity of the receiver. Imagine you're listening to a speech over an ordinary radio, Vladimir.
But instead of distinct words, static breaks in. Some words are unknown to you, and the concepts behind them are unclear. What would you do in that case?
Try to guess the words to fill in the parts I didn't understand.
Naturally. But the word you insert could reduce or change the thought expressed or turn it around. Only your own purity can hear the truth without distortion, and if it is insufficient, your mood and purity, then you should not blame the source. In material life, in your world, there are many sources to be heard on all sides. They lay claim to the truth and to the right to master your mind and will, to direct your life for their own benefit. You are free to listen to them or not. You're free to decide for yourself, and you should not blame anyone.
Let's say that's so. What if some question is heard and there is no thought in the whole universe to answer it? For example, people ask you a question but no thought of yours exists in space to answer it. What happens then?
A question that has no answer in the universe instantly accelerates advancement in everything. Like a bright flash, like a ringing, it will reach every corner, everything will go into motion. There will be a union of opposites, the answer will be born, and people will hear it.
You mean immediately you personally will directly hear the question and see who asked it?
Like everyone, I too will hear it instantaneously. Unfortunately, people have been asking identical questions for millennia, and there are answers, but few to hear.
Still, how do we make sense of this? When does the source bear the truth, or rather, when is it perceived without static? After all, there's no crackling in our ears when we hear something from without. You say the answer is born as if in the form of one's thoughts, produced by oneself. But what can we use to figure out if it's a voice for good or not? After all, quite a few hear voices and believe that they are hearing only the supreme intellect.
When you hear not just the word inside you, when suddenly a feeling flares up, the soul's emotions, and tears of joy in your eyes, when sensations of warmth, smells and sounds are born in you, when there is a surge, a need for creation, you will also feel inside a thirst for purification. You will be certain you are clearly hearing the thoughts of light. When cold information comes to you, an order or decree, even if it speaks about good, even if it seems wise, even very wise, and the source sending it forth seems supreme and mighty, know that what is not good does not hide behind good, but trains itself to follow you for the good of the essence that has not been given perfect embodiment.
Chapter Everyone into the Forest?
Anastasia, here is yet another problem. Some readers want to live in the taiga the way you do. Some are trying to find you and are asking you for directions. Others want to organize settlements in the taiga. They draft proposals which they sent to Moscow Center, wanting to know how they can realize their ideas. I've read of settlements already in the world when people from the cities leave their homes and established communes in nature. India has settlements like that, as do America and Russia, in Krasnoyarsk district, for example. People want you to tell them the best way for them to carry out their ideas.
Why go somewhere else to live?
What do you mean, why? People leave the dirty cities where the air is bad and there's all kinds of noise and bustle. They resettle in clean, ecologically pure places so that they themselves can be purer.
Who's left to clean up the mess? Others?
I don't know who, but is it really so bad when a person gets the desire to live in a pure place in nature?
The desire is good. The issue lies elsewhere. When someone who has created dirt around him comes to a clean place, he brings his dirt with him. First, clean up your own mess, and in this way you will wash away your own sins.
So it all has to start with cleanup. How do you think this will all come about?
Consciousness will serve as the beginning of everything. The aspiration of thought will find the optimal route like a river. In Russia today, that is how everything is happening. You must look closely, Vladimir. It is not in vain, it did not just happen. It is no accident that the factories with fuming smokestacks have been idled today.
Fewer and fewer funds are being found in the country for the army.
But most importantly, you have stopped regarding as heroes those who have polluted the earth with their actions and whom it would be no sin to call vandals. You don't need to go into the forest. The forest will cautiously accept whoever comes and will spend a long time studying his intentions, habits, and way of life. After all, where you live now, was once forest too, cultivated by the Creator. What has this salutary heavenly oasis been transformed into today?
Someone who goes into the forest to live is no more important than those summer people who have cultivated gardens with their own hand on vacant, unattended land. Quite the contrary, in fact. Each blade of grass in their garden knows and loves them and tries to give back universal warmth. Sincere feelings are in those who themselves erected this oasis of paradise, who embodied their soul's good amid the fuss and gloom of death. What will happen to the cities then? Who will maintain them in the normal condition? After all, everything in the cities will collapse, decay, and fall apart. Nor is an abrupt transition permissible from one to the other. Calm movement is essential, and it is going on right now. It is wonderful, and in the future it will be even more wonderful.
Well, Anastasia, you're in your usual vein. As before, all summer people are your idols, only they say almost nothing about the spiritual, as many different associations and religious communes do.
What are words when their affairs are truly holy?
Here are some more letters. One person has already sent 5. He says he hears a voice. An antenna is telling him that you are summoning him to the taiga, and he is anxious to join you. He threatens me in his letters that he will come to see Solntsev at the Moscow Center. He says we are hiding you away from everyone, and demands that we arrange a trip to the taiga for him to see you. He is not the only one like this. What do you say to them in reply? I think you know they're in love with you. They believe that they must do good deeds with you and live with you in the taiga.
I reply to everyone who is sincere. Thank you for your love. But I have not summoned anyone to the taiga. What would you do here? What would you bring? If your intentions are good, let them be embodied where you live. Let love shine on those living next to you.
Chapter on the Anastasia Centers.
In the cities of Russia and abroad as well, people have already started to organize centers that they name after you. Just listen, and I'll read you just one such letter. They write lots of letters like this to my daughter Polina. She herself replies to some. Others she forwards to me. But I can't answer them all, and I don't quite know how to treat some of them. After all, some people consider these centers a sect. Just listen. Here's one letter from the center. What would you yourself say to this? I read Anastasia one letter in full, out of those which Polina had forwarded to me.
Dear Polina, I am Valery Anatolievich Karasev, an associate of our school's Anastasia Ecological Center. Our center is very young. It was formed on the 4th of December 1997 and is now in the process of coming into its own. Its birth was facilitated by your father's book, for which we are all very grateful. Like a ray of light in a dark kingdom, Anastasia is now uniting the creative forces of adult and children who have not lost the ability to create, to defend their honor and dignity, who strive toward light ideals and believe that the happiness of Russia, their native land, is in our hands and our intentions. We understand what forces of darkness have come crashing down on it, and we are trying to help it in any way we can. At our center, teachers, school children, and their parents are working hard. At the present time, we are teaching the children and their parents about Anastasia and her thoughts through presentations and classes, using and distributing your father's books and magazine articles. We are also trying to collect scientific literature explaining Anastasia's capabilities. We understand the full difficulty of the work to awaken man's consciousness, to overcome the inertia of human thinking, and therefore we are conducting our activities calmly and confidently. We have already made interesting discoveries.
Some people perceive Anastasia as a lovely fairy tale. Some, after reading the book, join in our work, and some, the fewest, start spreading rumors that Anastasia is another sect. The opinion of the latter makes us smile. But as the saying goes, Lord, forgive them. They do not know what they do. Most importantly, we are glad that Anastasia has assembled us together in this rural district, with its dying agricultural production, in a bankrupt collective farm whose leaders have forgotten the needs of the people and youth, in the very place where M.I. Kalinin was once born and the Verkhney-Troitsky millionaire collective farm flourished. Here, at the Anastasia Center of the M.I. Kalinin Country School, our program was born, Rainbow, which aims to develop and put into practice creative efforts to improve our native territory, to give the next generation an education in labor and morals, and to create a base for the production of ecologically pure agricultural output. The purpose of the Rainbow program is to create a young people's cultural and ecological production association called RUS, which will include Lada, a Slavic cultural center, and Rod, an ecological production complex. This is the program Anastasia has helped us create. Let the unbelievers believe at least in their unbelief while we implement our program, no matter how unrealistic it might seem to some. Our goal is to allow young people to experience their own creative power in practice. One of the aspects of the Rainbow program is local history, the study of our native territories, ancient history, the life and culture of our Slav ancestors. At one time, the city of Medved was built next to Verkhnaya Troitsa. Virtually nothing is known about it. It was wiped from the face of the earth. Along the banks of the Medveditsa River, there are Slav burial mounds. Do some of them have the same significance as the dolmens in Gelendzhik, where the battle between Medved host and Ordinetses took place? We need this information. We do not want to be forgetful. We will take under our protection and restore what we can, if only fragments. That is our request to Anastasia, Polina. In the spring, we will begin creating a nursery to cultivate cedar saplings. It will become a reality thanks to our fellow villager, the forester Georgy Shaposhnikov, who has left us an amazing gift. Our children's theater, led by the Siberian Tatiana Yakovlevna Zaonegina, will be staging a performance based on stories from Anastasia. The children are very enthusiastic about this idea. We hope very much that other centers and associations that Anastasia has helped create will contact us. May divine lines of light stretch all across Russia between the centers. Mutual interaction, even if written, will multiply our forces and help us find the answer more quickly. Success to you and all the best, Polina. We at the center will be happy to receive from you information concerning Anastasia. Please convey our best wishes to your father. Happy New Year.
What do you say to this letter, Anastasia?
I say that the human soul's aspirations are beautiful. This has nothing to do with you or me. This is only about the strength of their souls and their beauty. The name should not be mine. Their names would be worthier. I grew up in the cradle of the Creator, whereas their soul has overcome the agonies of hell and was able to endure. For years, the string of adversities, deprivations, temptations and vanities strove to distort their concept of good. Their souls managed to overcome everything. They are stronger than those who have cut themselves off from the world with a stone wall. They in the world will themselves make the world beautiful. Their names should be in the title. If all the centers start using my name, a cult will arise, and that cannot be allowed. A cult of personality or image always leads man away from the main thing, from himself.
So what happens then? In Moscow, the Solntsev Center, and at the Larionova Center in Gelendzhik, there are already Anastasia sections. Under the International Academy of Spiritual Development, how will people find out the center's orientation?
All people have been given intuition, and the essence is not determined by the name. The soul must sense the deed.
This is an interesting turn. We will have to give this more thought. You are not the usual Anastasia. Interacting with you not only makes me have to work at my thoughts, but others too will have to think. When are we to relax? The letter also asks you a specific question. What are the burial mounds there by the river on the Medveditsa?
There's no need to excavate the mounds. The mounds have fulfilled their purpose, and those people were born there who were the first to ask the main question.
What question?
Think for yourself, Vladimir. For now, I'll say that you should help those like them to know one another. Put their addresses in the book. Let all the letters which are akin to light rays help people warm hearts. Korotinsky, a St. Petersburg poet, wrote you with a hint long ago. From heart to heart the ray of love will flash, a divine thread. Pluck the soul from the dust and suffuse it with the heavens' heights.
All right, I get it. I myself wanted to publish the letters and poems readers had sent. I wanted to publish them as a separate volume. I myself felt that there was something far from simple in them. Their addresses can be made available through the Moscow Center so that people can help each other. My daughter Polina can also do this work. She feels responsible for the letters. It might turn out to be a good thing when people from different countries interact through the soul. They will find soulmates, marry, or at least make friends, start a new common cause, or produce things together. That's it. That's great. I will publish that collection. Also, you know, we have a matchmaking service. In newspapers, people print ads looking for mates. So in their ads, they have their height, eye color, and age, as if selecting a cow for their farm. But here it would probably be better if people met based on their spirit and started to help one another.
Of course, a union in spirit is better and more stable.
Yes, there's just one problem.
A problem? What is it?
End of chapter. Join us for the next segment of The Dimension of Love. Book 3 of the Ringing Cedars series, Recreate Shambhala.